What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, we're coming back to Haken. Yes, indeed, Haken Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Childra, and this is actually Childra's prioritized request for the month of August for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Childra. Hope you enjoy the show. Childra wanted to see me react to this. It is Haken with a tune called 1985. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hold it, this sounds familiar, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Inside Out Music TV, okay? And the video has 401,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Haken, 1985, album track. Cool. Whoa! Oh, did not see that coming. 9 minutes and 8 seconds. All right. Well, you know how I feel about longer songs. If it's well written, well constructed, well executed, if it's mixed well, it keeps me engaged, it keeps me entertained, I'm not bored, it's got nothing to worry about. On the flip side, if it's not particularly well written, not well organized, not well executed, I'm not having a good time with it. If I'm bored, I'm going to absolutely tear it to shreds. So, we'll have to see how this one goes, I guess. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
I play my role with the cast of a die. It spins through the air, bound by gravity. So why can't I feel momentum pulling me? Then as I shifting frame by frame, paralyzed, the cycle starts again. My first step was undertaken aimlessly. Yet I arrive as if I'm meant to be. Conceived by desire, or compelled by certainty. Did I decide, or did the road choose me? Then as I'm shifting frame by frame, blur the lines, the cycle starts again. All I am, blood, flesh,
I just can't groove to this, man. I can't. I'm trying. I am really, really trying to groove to this, and I can't lock in. Now, here's the thing. Normally, I'd be really upset about this. I'd be really upset at a song like this that just changes time signatures rapidly. But here's the thing. Are they changing time signatures rapidly? Yes, they are. They absolutely are, without question. But there is a pattern. I can sense and I can feel a pattern that has been repeated. I'm just not able to lock into it. So are they doing anything wrong? No, they're not doing anything wrong. They're writing songs for their demographic. They're writing songs for their audience, for their fans, and for themselves. It's very obvious. They're going to have bands like this, that not just bands like this. I'll name another band very similar to this, Spock's Beard. They write songs in a very similar style. A lot of complexity with their time signature usage, their feel changing up, stylistically changing up, all within the same song. But they do the same thing that these guys do. They do have a pattern, and it repeats. It's not just complete randomness. That's what upsets me more than anything else, is when it's just completely random and there's no rhyme or reason. There's no repeatable pattern. There's no way you can follow it. Unless, and here's the key, unless you listen to it 10, 12, 17, 23, 36 times, then you'll start to be able to anticipate when those changes are going to happen, because you're going to learn where they are. Through listening repetition, you're going to learn where all of those changes happen, where they happen, how they happen, and what the change actually is. Once you're able to internalize that, you'll be able to groove to this without question, no problem. I see there is a pattern. I see it is a repeated pattern. So I know there is a groove. There is. I just can't find it yet because this is my first time listening to it. So, is it complex? Yes. Is it impressively written? I think so. I don't really know because I'm not able to lock into it yet. It sounds impressively written. I'll give it that. I'm just, if you ask me, am I enjoying this? My answer as it stands right now is going to be no. I'm not enjoying this at all. I'm not having a good time with this. So, hopefully I can lock in. It would be nice if I'm able to find the pattern. If I'm able to find the time signature, lock into it, and know where it's going to go and how it's going to change, when it's going to change. If I'm able to internalize it, I'm sure I will enjoy this a lot more. But as it stands right now, not having a good time. So, anyway, let's keep going here. Okay. Here. Okay. 6, 8, 7, 8. I think that's where we're at on this section. Yeah. 6, 1, 7, 1. That's 4/4. So, okay. 6, 8, 7, 8. The argument could be made for 13/8. I don't think it is, though. The accent on 6 of the 6, 8, they accented on the snare hit, which feels like a definitive ending and reboot or restart to go into the 7, 8 instead of continuing on to make it 13. The snare's the dead giveaway for that. So I appreciate that. I think it's 6, 8, 7, 8. It could be 13/8. The argument could be made, and I wouldn't dispute that. I mean, to me, it feels like 6, 8, 7, 8. And from there, it goes into straight 4/4. Okay. Wait. Is it 7, 8, 8, 8? Wait. 6888. 68 and okay, 88 or 44. Take your pick. Let me try 44. Let me see how that feels. I mean, it works both ways. It works both ways because of the accent placement and the subdivision work. 88 or 44, they both work and they both feel about the same. So you could go either way with that. But 68 definitely. So 68 for the sake of simplicity. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep the eighth notes going and let's say 88. 6888. 6888. Okay. Okay. Like I said, there's a repeatable pattern. It repeats. 6888, 6888, 6888, 6888. Once you can find the groove, once you can find the time signature, you're able to lock into it. You can lock into the groove. It's a lot easier to groove to. It's a lot more comfortable to groove with. So that makes the song more enjoyable. Okay? Let's keep going here. That was 7, wasn't it? Can't get yet. That's right. That section was 6878. That's right. Okay. You see, once you start to find the patterns, and once you start to establish where the patterns are, once you start to figure out where the time signature changes are and what time signature change we're going to follow the pattern, once that happens, you find yourself getting into the groove more. You find yourself enjoying the song more. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in the complexity of the song. But, and I said this before on other reactions, the first time you listen to the song, you're not going to be able to groove to it. You're really not, unless you're really actively searching, like I did, for time signatures. Now, once you listen to the song 10 times, 13 times, 16 times, 18 times, 27 times, however many times you got to listen to it to be able to internalize those time signature changes, find out where they are so you can anticipate them and you can be ready for them, you're going to find yourself being able to groove to the song a lot easier and find the song a lot more enjoyable. But until you get to that point where you have internalized the song, you know where everything is coming, you know where everything happens, it's going to be a lot tougher to enjoy the song. It's going to be a lot tougher to groove to the song. So I hope everybody understands that. It's not that I hate the song. I don't. I see a lot of potential in the song, and I could really see myself listening to this and really grooving out to it, enjoying it. Once I get to that point, I'm not there yet. I got pieces. I got some pieces. I know there's this. I know there's this. I know there's a section that's in 4/4. I know there's that section in 4/4 where it switches from straight time to half time back to straight time. I know there's a section that is 7/8 and or 6/8 into 7/8. I know there's a section where it's 6/8 and 4/4. No, it's 7/8. No, is it 6/8 and 8/8 or is it 7/8 and 8/8? I forgot. Shoot, I have to go back and listen to it again. But you see what I mean? Like once I've got it internalized, I'll be able to groove this a lot easier. Anyway, no, I think I already know what I'm going to say. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Haken with 1985. This was a request from Childra, and this was actually Childra's prioritized request for the month of August for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Childra. Hope you enjoyed the show. I got a score, and I can't really say the score is surprising because it makes sense to me, but some people might be surprised by the score I'm going to give you. But I have my reasons. I promise you I will tell you all the reasons why. Let's start with the score first, and we'll go from there. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.4. Yep, 8.4. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.4. What does that mean? Well, an 8.4 would translate to a great scale rating because overall, I think this is a great song. It will also give 4 to 5 stars and an A- letter grade. So there you go, an 8.4, great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Ha ha! So glad you asked. I get it. They're a prog band. I absolutely understand that. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with prog music. I used to love listening to prog. Like that's all I would listen to. I would listen to prog like this, and I would listen to jazz, and that was about it. I listened to those two styles of music pretty much exclusively from high school all the way through until about I would say about the early 2000s to mid 2000, like 2004, 2005. That's pretty much all I listened to, exclusively. So I get it. I understand the appeal there is a certain target audience that prog bands aim their music toward, because they want to play to their crowd. They want to play to their demographic. I absolutely understand that, and I'm not going to complain about that, and I'm definitely not going to criticize that. That's smart, okay? It absolutely is. I'm also going to say this, though. Good luck expanding your audience, because you're going to write songs like this. You're going to have people like myself who are going to listen to this for the very first time, and they're not going to be hooked by it. They're not. Most people are going to listen to this for the first time and go, I don't want anything to do with it. So you're not going to expand your audience a whole lot by writing songs like this. You're not. You're going to have your demographic. You're going to have your target audience, and you're going to make them happy. And that's great. That's wonderful. And if that's all you want to do, then there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're ever looking to expand and hit the mainstream, I'm sorry, but that you're not going to hit the mainstream with songs like this. You're not. For a first time listen, I'm amazed I got as much as I did, if I'm being honest with you. I'm a little shocked I got as much as I did. I was really focusing. Through repetition, I've talked about this before, and I've talked about this at length towards the end of the song, so I'm not going to talk about it at length again. I'm going to hit a couple bullet points, and that's it. You know, with familiarity comes comfort, and the more familiar I would become with the song, like I got quite a bit, actually. I got like almost the second half. There's that one section I just cannot lock into, but I'm sure if I listen to this 5 more times, 7 more times, 8 more times, maybe 10 more times, I'm sure I'll get it. I'm sure I'll lock into it. And I'm sure through repetition, I'll lock into it even more, and I'll be able to internalize the song, so that by the time I listen to it the 12th, 13th time, I'll have it down. I'll have it internalized. I'll know when we're going to switch gears each and every time, and which gear we're switching to. I'll know we're going to go from that 6/8, 7/8 section to the 4/4 section. And from the 4/4 section, we're going to go from straight time to half time, back to straight time again, before we switch gears again. And we go to the, I think it was 7/8 and 8/8 section, I think it was. I'm not 100% sure, but through repetition and through time and repetitive listening, I will internalize it, and I'll be able to, here's the key word, anticipate it. So that way, when it starts to come, I'll be like, all right, here it comes, and boom, we're on that 7/8 section. A lot easier to groove to that way. A lot easier, okay? Now, there are prog bands out there who have been able to straddle the fence and walk that fine line between mainstream sound with prog songwriting. Bands like, I'm just going to throw a couple bands out there. Rush, that's a great example. Genesis, another great example. Early Dream Theater, I'm talking before Scenes from a Memory. I'm talking Kevin Moore days, when Kevin Moore was the keyboard player. I don't want to talk about that other album, that fourth album. No, I'm not going to discuss it, because I don't like Derek Sherinian. I really don't. I think he was the biggest mistake that Dream Theater ever made, was that. Falling Into Infinity was an awful album. Anyway, but here's the thing about Falling Into Infinity. I may hate that album simply because of Derek Sherinian, but here's the thing. A lot of those songs is exactly what I'm talking about, straddling that fence between mainstream and prog. I don't like that album. I can't stand that album, but that's because Derek Sherinian's on it, and I do not like his keyboard style. I really don't. But there's no denying the songwriting on that album is exactly what I'm talking about, bridging or walking that fine line, straddling the fence. But prior to that album, you're looking at Images and Words, you're looking at Awake, Change of Season, maybe not so much. That was a bit of a long song. The entire Change of Seasons song, just one song, was 28 minutes. I don't know about that being mainstream. But the first two albums, definitely, without question. But these are just some examples of what I'm talking about, where there is some complexity, yes, but it's not overly complex. And the chordal progression is very pleasing to the ear. The melodic lines, very pleasing to the ear. This song has all those things. It's just a little overly complex. Now, like I said, though, through repetition, I'm sure I will probably end up loving this. Here's the thing. It wasn't such a turn off that I don't want to listen to it again. I do want to listen to this again. I do want to get this. Here's the difference. There's a lot of prog bands out there. Well, okay, I use that term loosely with these bands. They think they're prog. They're trying to be prog. And they do that by writing the most overly complicated songs that they possibly can with literally dozens of key signature changes and dozens of time signature changes, all shoehorned into a 5-minute long song with no rhyme or reason, no repeatable patterns, just trying to be as impressive as they possibly can, whipping out their theory out of their pants and going, ugh, yeah, check that out. What do you think of that? You know, I can't stand bands like that. I really can't. Not anymore. Used to love them. I used to love them when I was going through my prog phase. Thought they were the greatest thing in the world. Not so much anymore, because it's just, I see them now for what they really are. They're just egomaniacs who are just trying to show off their theory and show off their knowledge and show off their skill as much as possible without writing songs with any rhyme or reason or any type of theming or conduciveness to anything that would make the song enjoyable to the everyday average listener. So I'm not into those bands anymore, thank God. No, but this definitely has my curiosity. I like the blend of there's, like I said, there's patterns, and I found patterns. I found repeated patterns, so I know there is a definite structure to the song. I just need to listen to it more, and I'll figure it out. And once I figure it out, I'm sure I will enjoy it more. But having said that, it's still a great song. I may not necessarily love it right now, I might in time, but looking at the song objectively, it's well written, it's well constructed. I love the vocal work on this song. And the other thing I'm going to mention, the song title, 1985, very appropriate concerning what was happening within those keyboards. Let's be honest. Vince DiCola, eat your heart out. Jan Hammer, eat your heart out. Oh, this song, the keyboard parts in particular, screamed 80s. So very appropriate for the style of the song and for the title of the song. Very appropriate keyboard work. I thought it was very tastefully done. But in any case, 8.4. Yes, I feel that is exactly what the song deserves. I am going to listen to this again, probably a few more times. And I'm sure the more I listen to it, the more I'll internalize it and the more I'll enjoy it. So, looking forward to it. Anyway, 8.4. That's the score we're at, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap this all up in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.4, which is a great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.